Yeah.
He might have just had an off day, you know.
And
He
scouts,
might
when it
put up
comes
big
to
numbers on his pro day.
when it comes to O linemen, scouts look at a vertical and broad jump just to see how much power they have, because those are power drills instead of just a bench press, because you don't really use that as much as you'll use the 10-yard split and the vertical and broad. So he didn't impress. We'll see. We'll see how much he does in the pro day.
In terms of his draft stock, I think it's not done him any favors whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Someone is going to, in my opinion, get a steal.
Yeah, it could happen. You never know.
Falls, yeah, he could be a steal with a draft, couldn't he? You know, if he goes in the later rounds,
yeah,
you know, he could be. I mean, he's obviously got talent, because you watch his tape, and his tape is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it depends what you're going on. If you're going on his combine, you're going, well, no way. Like, I'm not taking that guy. You look at his tape, you're like, damn, I'm taking him in the first or second round.
And tape is what matters most, anyways. Combines just verifies what you saw on tape. And if you see something you don't like, you just go back to the tape and check it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good kid as well, to be fair.
Yeah, he's pretty young. They're all young.
But they're all young players.
But I'm not a big fan of the news of taking Davenport at 10 just because he's so raw. And if Irvin is coming back, why waste a pick on number 10 when you can get someone that you need immediately?
Nah.
So an immediate need would be more interior pass rushers.
See, the last time I said to take Davenport was because I thought Irvin was obviously going to be gone.
Right.
But obviously now it looks like he's going to be staying. There isn't really a need to go that high on an edge rusher.
Right.
Although if Chubb falls, it has to be done because you have to take that sort of talent. But
by the way, if Chubb falls and 49ers take him, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just telling you right now.
I'm telling. But the thing is, I don't think if he falls down the board, I don't think the Raiders would let him slip to the 49ers. I think the Raiders would try and trade up and take him. If he falls that far, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
It is a possibility that the Raiders trade up to take him. Because if a talent like that falls on the board, it's like a domino effect.
Man, that would suck.
You know?
But hey, just for the people that I talked about what Gruden said about Bruce Irvin, but just for the people who didn't listen to it, John Gruden talking about it, let me just play it. So give me a second.
Okay, no problem.
I like Bruce Irvin. I know Bruce Irvin. I like him because he plays. If you look at play time, the amount of percentage of snaps, he's out there all the time. He played through a back problem early in the season. And I really think he's playing a difficult position because he's really an edge player. And when you ask him to play over the tight end or over the offensive tackle at his size, you can get beat up. But he's still a very good pass rusher. I think he plays with good effort. We just need to get him some help so he can do the things that he does the best more often.
John, where do you see more?
All right, that was Gruden telling the reporters that he believes in Bruce Irvin. He just needs to play a different position, more as a Leo on the weak side. So anyway, what else we got? Any other news that's coming out this weekend?
There's not really a lot apart from Landry signing his tag.
Oh, well, that doesn't really mean anything. That just means they're going to sign his tag and they're going to trade him. So he's going to be paying good money.
Yeah, so, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But that's the latest on Landry, that he is signing the tag.
All right, I'm going to give you 3 names. Which one you want, you let me know. Ndamukong Suh, Mo Wilkerson, or Michael Bennett. Who do you want to take? Ndamukong Suh would probably play first 1 technique. Mo Wilkerson probably play 1 or 3 technique, and you have Michael Bennett probably play defensive end and a pass rushing 3 technique. So, who do you want in your team?
Money. I'm thinking money. I don't know. I might sound cheap, but I'm thinking money for Mac really.
Well, none of them is going to be cheap, but
Suh's going to be probably the most expensive. Obviously, he's going to ask quite a big deal. Seeing as he's getting older as well, so it's not exactly like he's got loads of years left. He's a bit older now. But so is Bennett.
Bennett
That's
would
a
be
tough one,
trade
man.
candidate, and he's making around $8 million a year right now, and that's not a bad number for him. You know, he can rush off the edge.
No,
He can be a
see,
three technique.
It depends it depends what they want for the trade. That
I would give him
whereas
2
you
6
could
rounders.
where you could get Mo Wilkerson for nothing, but apart from obviously his salary, he's probably going to be about 7 mil, 6-7 mil, maybe
6-7 mil is a good number. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would make sense in terms of not having to use any picks. But if you're talking in terms of talent, Bennett is a lot better, in my opinion. But obviously, Sue is probably the best one out of the lot. But I don't think that's realistic for the Raiders in terms of money.
Yeah, he might want a lot.
I'm gonna go with Mo Wilkerson just because of the situation. He's a free agent.
We can sign him before the free agency starts.
But if he comes in, hits the ground running, he could be a very good pickup for the amount of money that has been muted of him earning.
Yeah, and we can go best player available on defense. We don't have to trade for pick for a position either in the draft. Yeah, Mo Wilkerson would be good. I just his attitude. I don't know if he's gonna do the same thing he did in New York. You know, they threw him a party. It was all over the New York media. They threw him a birthday party. He never even showed up, and everyone was pissed. His DB room got him a cake and everything, and he didn't even show up. So Gruden's not going to put up. Yeah, definitely not going to put up with it. Michael Bennett's pretty good.
No.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of if you're trading like later round picks, I would go Bennett purely on the fact that he's a better player. But if you're trying to keep your picks, then I'd go Wilkerson just because he's a free agent. Sue, I'd love Sue, but I think that's just going to be too much money. And when you've got to pay Mac and you've got to sort out other positions, it's too much.
He's due to make $22 million this year. $26 million this year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So his base is $7 million. His signing
you're looking
$5
at Tremaine
million.
Johnston. He's looking at about 11 million. I read somewhere about 11 million.
Oh, really?
Tremaine Johnson. Yeah, and I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, I wouldn't. 11 is not that bad.
No.
Spot Rack has him
but we'll see,
at 13.5 mil. We'll see, yeah. I think there might be a bidding war for Tremaine Johnson. I don't want to pay too much, even though it's okay to pay 10, 11, 12 million.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what is a big pull, coming to the Raiders and playing for Gruden.
That is true.
You know,
plus in 2 years you're leaving to Vegas where there's no state tax in the States. You know, every different state have different taxes. California is one of the highest taxed states in America, but Nevada has 0. So
yeah, exactly. So
that's another pull.
So, yeah, that's cool little stat.
Yeah.
So my ambition is to actually become a fully fledged accountant and earn enough money to live in or near Vegas and have a season ticket. So, and plus there's
you're
0
dedicated,
tax.
Huh?
So
very dedicated. Listen, you can live in LA or San Diego and drive over. It's not that bad of a drive. Vegas.
No,
is.
exactly. So I don't know about San Diego. I don't want to be anywhere near those Chargers.
Well, they're in LA now, so.
Oh no, I'm joking.
San Diego's actually very beautiful.
Yeah, no, I've heard it is.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing I wanted to cover. Oh, now in the DB room, I was thinking if we take Derwin James, a lot of people secretly I talked to is saying they want Derwin James might be an option at number 10. He can come in and pay at running downs, right? On base downs, he can come in and play the strong sideline or weak side linebacker. Maybe in passing downs, he come in and play slot cornerback. We don't know what if he's able to do that or not, but that might be an option because Derwin James is just an athletic freak. Yeah. And you can use an athletic freak like Derwin James. I just don't know how that would work.
I think you can utilize him in loads of ways. I think he's such an athletic person that he can cover a variety of positions. He's sort of like a better version of Obee Melifonwu, in my opinion. Obviously, Obee didn't play last year. I'm basing it on tape that I've seen.
On college tape,
shows
right.
off that little bit more. But I think we have to show faith in Obee and Carl Joseph. I like Derwin James.
Yeah, I mean, if we get Derwin James, I'm
but
definitely not saying where he's gonna replace any of our young guys. Maybe a new role with Gunther's defense. So
yeah, maybe.
And Gunther plays a lot of man-to-man as well, so that might be something. He can come in and play man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say Gruden's given Gunther the freedom to do what he wants with the defensive side. So if he wants to bring in someone like that in the first round and work and bring him in and you know, do different little schemes and stuff and work on things, then I don't see that being a problem.
Yeah. All right, man. I guess we'll wrap up for today unless you got something else you want to talk about.
Not really. I think the only thing we didn't cover is the tight ends, but maybe we can cover that next week.
Yeah, we'll do a full recap. You know, whose stocks are rising, who's going down. We'll have Rory Anderson, from the Raider. What do you call it? The site you write for, RaiderRamble.com. He'll give us we're only a week away from free agency, so he'll give us our free agency big board. I'll ask him about, you know, what Gruden's and Paul Gunther's scheme is going to be, who he thinks fits well. So we'll do a recap of the draft, and we'll do a introduction to, you know, the free agency. So that should be a good show. Stay tuned, guys. So next week, right?
Yeah, next week.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Talk to you guys next.
Yeah, take care, man.
Hey, give us 5 stars on iTunes. Raider Lounge Pod. It does a lot, and follow us on Twitter. Raider Lounge Pod at Twitter, and our bios are there as well. Peace out.